each one of the people who have mentioned here in the thousands at the same time. And that is the strategy of one of the strategies of making Nigeria the greatest country in the world. But that's just chapter 2.
Yeah, that's just chapter. In fact, we
have not even mentioned the name of many of those people.
So many of these people we have not even mentioned, like the likes of Rotimi Badero, the only heart and kidney specialist, kidney and heart specialist in the world is a Nigerian. That is the only one person.
He's also a graduate of Ife.
Yeah, he's also a graduate of Ife before he left for the United States. These were people who just accidentally, he studied at Mary's private school in Lagos and Federal Government College, and just accidentally discovered
themselves. It was not by a government program that was intentional at discovering this kind of people.
No.
But what we are proposing in this book is that we could have a government program of discovering this kind of people and of multiplying them.
Yes.
We could even have a program whereby through these same people, they will be tasked to reproduce after themselves.
Yes, which is very, very possible. That is the whole idea of the book, to be able to create systems in which we can have, instead of having just one of Dangote, of having one of the Alakija and all of them, and Philippe Meguale and all of that, all of them, we can have several thousands and thousands of them. Because just like you said at the introduction of the book, that every time you looked at yourself, you saw a son of
in all the villagers,
all of them, in all of those
street children
who otherwise will look down on as children that normally we would walk past by and we wouldn't say anything, but that with systematic programs in each of these children, and the many of the Adelajas, and the many of the Osatos, and the many of the Arodikis, in every one of these children.
Yes.
Because it's just like Nigeria is specially gifted with that pool of people, of individuals. Even when Bill Gates came to Nigeria the other time, one of the things he had to say is the fact that Nigeria were a special class of people. We're very interesting people.
Well, Mark Zuckerberg also came to invest in Nigeria and said something like that when he discovered young people.
Yes, who are into programming, and they are doing coding programs in Lagos.
Yes.
And it's just exceptional, the kinds of mind that Nigerians have. And that is why I said that for no reason in the world will I ever want to exchange my passport with another country's passport, because it's actually...
And these things we are talking about are just things that randomly happened.
Yes.
But when we put in place these kind of things we are talking about,
yes,
it's not just by accident anymore.
So we will be able to
guarantee, because life is predictable.
Yes.
In a predictable way, we'll be able to constantly generate greatest Nigerians in every sphere of life.
Yes. You ended chapter 2 basically on that note by saying that everyone needs that opportunity. You remembered your childhood, how it was just a little stroke of opportunity that happened, and that has produced the Sunday Adelaja that the world knows today.
But that Sunday Adelaja could have been selling ogi and pap and in the village and doing farming.
Yes.
And I would have been doing that. Nobody will even know that kind of potential to lead the world is in that village.
Yes.
And how many such villages all over?
That we have in Nigeria.
And how many such Sunday Adelajas, that children that are just farming and selling stuff, that would have been like me, would have just been like me, and would have become me.
And all they are just begging for is just
an opportunity. Yeah.
So once we give such opportunity to each, and all of these children, like you also emphasized in the book, all of the Arodekis and some of these exceptional young Nigerians that the world has not come to know, and there are so many of them across the world. Reading the book, I was just so amazed at how intelligent Nigerians are all over the world. Like, for example, in Japan, we had the case of a young man who solved a 150-year-old mathematics for the university.
That could not have been solved.
And he's just a Nigerian who just studied
all professors, all academicians have not been able to do it. All over the world.
All over the world. Japanese professors, all of them were not. A PhD student, Nigerian, in Japan, was able to solve that maths problem. So you gave the fact that the environment was able to just give them a little boost, to give them a little opportunity, that rather than for us to have such environments in the United States, in Japan and all that, we can actually cultivate that environment, that system in Nigeria that will be producing massively each of these people.
Yeah. And maybe you could tell them what happened in Harvard with Delia Umana.
Yes.
After how many years of, I think it's how many years that Nigeria, no woman, no female has been able to lead.
Yes. So Delia Umana is a very, very interesting
law school.
It's a law school. It's very, very interesting story because she, a clinical professor of law at Harvard Law School, and the truth of the matter was that in the history of Harvard itself, there had not been...
Is it 300 years? I think it's 300 years,
yeah. of Harvard Law School.
Yeah.
There has not been any lady that has led what is called the... she was appointed
like the editor of the...
Yes. So she was appointed the editor of the journal of there is this special journal produced by the school, and so many things about her story in the book. She was a trial attorney at one point in the university. She became a public defender, board member, and author of the Thinking Neighborhood. So she was able to become one of the exceptional Nigerians that became an editor of the
Harvard Law School.
Harvard Law School journal. Yes. And which is a very reputable journal, because I read that journal is one of the...
that is what made Obama with. He was an editor, yes, of it as well.
Yes, and that is the law firm.
But only men have been throughout history. The first woman is a Nigerian.
Is a Nigerian, and her name is Delia Umana.
Yeah.
She very, very exceptional, and a lot of other examples like that. We had the story of Philippe Meguali.
What about the uncommon physicist? Ilesome Adeshida from Ondo State.
Yes.
Yeah, who,
Her own field is in nanotechnology. Nanotechnology. She's been able to do like a lot of exceptional work when it comes to in the field of nanotechnology, a lecturer at the University of Illinois, and she's also a fellow of several bodies and so many things. Basically,
same with Kunle
Olu Cotton,
right?
Yes.
We have so many exceptional stories.
Kunle Olu Cotton actually developed his own what is called a microprocessor technology. I called it Afara. He actually used the Yoruba name.
What is the meaning of Afara?
Afara is a bridge in Yoruba language.
Okay.
So it's a bridge. So, and the design of this processor is such that it can connect multiple processors together.
That's why it's called bridge web systems.
Exactly. So, and he used the Yoruba name called Afara. So every time the white and the Americans have to pronounce that invention, they have to use the word Afara, which is the Yoruba word. So, a lot of them like that. Just every one of them, very exceptional people.
So somebody will say, but these are all in diaspora. Yeah, but that's exactly what we are talking about. That in this book, you'll be able to see the way, clearly you will see the way this same result that our Nigerians in diaspora are producing. You will see clearly the way, and the system we are advocating that will make us as Nigeria to be able to produce same kind of result back at home with our own people, but in a much larger scale.
Yes. So we can actually consciously groom each of these people. We can grow them rather than just accidentally discovering them around the world. Even just by accidentally discovering them, each of them is
already exceptional.
They are very, very exceptional in their field. The man I was trying to remember the other time is called Dr. What's his name now? I just saw his name and I missed it. So many examples, so many stories. I also love the part where you said that how Nigeria can have the world's best products.
Yes. So, let's talk about that one.
So basically, you challenged a lot of Nigerians in that place to be able to also to serve as a cover for each of the children that are roaming around the streets.
Yeah.
Each of the children, every family can be a cover for at least one child, to not just see the children as street children, but to be able to see the genius and the potential in each of these children. So he said by the time we are able to provide cover for as many children as possible, we're able to send a child to school, we never can estimate what the contribution of that child will be to the world. So, and of course, you challenge the fact that many people have been exceptional in the world. They weren't however even raised by their own family.
Yeah,
somebody else.
Because if a Nigerian could do the doll, like the Barbie,
yes,
Barbie doll,
yes,
and it's now outselling Barbie in Africa.
yes,
we can also produce competitive products like that.
yes,
that will be able to run out all the multinational companies from town.
yes,
Or like that guy who is doing the iPad analogy
yes,
of the device. What do you call it? Not laptop.
prototype.
It's like a device or what smartphone.
Okay.
That he's producing his smartphone, and his smartphone is competing with iPad and Apple in Nigeria, and he's doing an alternative one, which is cheaper, and is producing them locally. So all these kind of things are showing you that not just a Nigeria outside now, but these are Nigerians inside.
Inside, yes.
And it's showing us the great future that is awaiting the country.
Yes.
Especially if we intentionally pursue it.
Yeah. Also talking about how Nigeria can have the best product, you gave the example, like, for example, we had Facebook, Goldman Sachs, Oracle, Starbucks, the likes of eBay and all of that. They all came from just a small group of people, just the Jewish people that are not even up to half the population of Lagos alone. That even all of these exceptional companies that we have today, Bloomberg, Dell, Microsoft, Google, all Jewish, and CK, DreamWorks, all of that can come out from just within Lagos. Lagos alone is able to produce all of this, and that is very, very, very possible because you give the roadmap in the book too.
Yeah, and that is what it's all about. We can form a value system in our people, and generically give birth to creative people,
and to encourage the creativity that people carry.
The book we are talking about is this: how to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. How to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. It's not a fallacy, and we are proving it. Why are we using all these examples that we're using? Just to prove that Nigerians have done it, they are doing it, and with a little bit of few things to put right, we'll be able to do it on a greater scale, making this to become the norm rather than the exception.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you go to chapter 3, we talk about the greatness of America.
Yes.
But if we're talking about rivaling America,
yes,
or becoming the greatest country like America, or even overtaking America, it's scary, isn't it? What is America? And who is America in achievements?
America has been able to do a lot. America has, of course, the population itself sometimes could be scary.
No, but we are going to overtake them by the year 2050.
Yes. Already that we are going to overtake America even by population. So they have Coca-Cola, they have some of like the world's leading companies, and looking at that,
multinational
companies, they have
billionaires
and all of this.
Industrial complex, military industrial complex.
Yes, they have all kinds of technology that they've been able to achieve. But then, the most educated group of people, even within
America itself, Nigerians are overtaking them in their own country.
Nigerians are more educated than Americans in their own country.
Even though our percentage there is less than 1% of their whole population,
yes,
but that few percentage of Nigerians are outdoing all the large percentage of Americans.
Even in their own homeland, in their own country.
Yes.
So which is very, very
is a pointer to the fact that, well, what about if we have as many Nigerians there?
Yes.
What about if we create the same opportunity in Nigeria, like they have created for their own people?
Yes.
So what would then be happening to Nigerians and to the world?
Absolutely. To corroborate that fact is this paragraph that says, what does it imply that Nigerians are more educated than Americans in their own home soil. It says if Nigerians can be the best on foreign soil, if Nigeria can make this bold statement in foreign America, then there's nothing stopping her from becoming the greatest country in the world.
Beautiful.
Nothing.
So, yeah, because there are statistics. Some of the things that you see here, they are not just some pronouncements.
Yes.
These are statistics that are confirmed by Americans themselves. Yes. And by, everybody knows these things. These things are out there, they are researched and they are known.
Yeah, that chapter also contained a very funny story of 3 Nigerians.
From the same family.
From the same family, Seditola and Femi, who both of them graduated from same university in America, and they graduated top of the university. Same family, same siblings.
In a university where they have thousands of people.
PhD graduates, and they were selected as the best, and the 3 of them were Nigerians.
From the same family.
From the same family.
Beating thousands of other Americans and people from all other countries.
Yes, even, for example, also in this university, Howard University in the United States, in 2016, 50% of the PhD graduating class in 2016, 50%, exactly half of the graduating class were all Nigerians in the United States. Howard University 2016 graduating class.
Yeah,
Howard University. Yeah. So they were the best
graduating
students. Then in that chapter you saw,
and they have people from countries like over 100 countries in that university.
Wow.
And 50% of all the students, not just beating Americans, but beating the rest of the world.
In their own homeland, in their own.
Not just 10%. 50%.
50%.
So for the rest of the world, all the 200 countries that are left,
they had to share the remaining 50.
About the 50%.
50%.
And the whole 50% was taken by Nigeria.
By Nigerians. Exactly 50% of the graduating class were from Nigeria. Then you supported that chapter, making Nigeria the greatest country in the world. This for me is very, very, because we are not even just talking about things that are been or things that will be. We're even talking about things that are going on right now. That currently are, because Nigerians don't know that even when it comes to languages, and this of course is also being discussed in the next book, celebrating
diversity.
The diversity of Nigeria. That currently Nigeria has 521 languages. And United States, with all the immigrants, with everyone coming in, has less than 300 languages altogether, with all the population of people. And we don't even have a lot.
We don't even bring in too much from outside.
Outside, just within us
alone.
Indigenous languages are 521 languages alone.
Much more diversity than the
United States. When it comes to language, and you gave the blueprint in this book, how we can even use languages to make Nigeria the greatest country on earth. That we can have language universities, we can have language technologies, the world can come to learn language, the culture of language, the origin of languages, everything about language. Nigeria can become the language center of the world.
Diversification of language. When it comes to tribes, Nigeria has over 500 different tribes in the world, which is more than that of America also. That is undisputable. So many things. And in America, they are coming from all over the world.
Yes. You gave so much, you gave biodiversity with birds that are found in Nigeria.
Yeah,
that's
natural endowment that God has given to Nigeria.
You gave the example, like for example, I see the example of the Plateau Indigo Belt, which is is only found in Nigeria. Anambra Wax Bill, which is only found just in Nigeria. 4,715 different species of birds that are only in Nigeria alone. Nowhere else around the world.
God is trying to make a statement.
God is making a statement. Very funny is the fact that even the twins capital of the world, Igbora,
is also there.
Is also in Nigeria, where in every family you find a twin. Twins.
God is making a statement.
God
is making a statement to us.
And that also confirms the fact that, like for example, if people are interested in fertility research, they want to know about,
it could become the fertility center of the world. And the IVF and all the other technologies could be connected to that.
To that place.
And then the food is connected to
the food. It's connected to the environment. The lifestyle of the people.
Yes. So we could use that to facilitate and maximize.
Yes, and do a lot of research when it comes to fertility. You give all of that blueprint in the book, how that place that is so massive. That is a lot of potential.
Yeah, it could become a research center.
Yes.
For reproductive
research.
Yes.
And of course, so many things, just so many. One of my favorites in the book is the Sumberedo wall.
Queen Sheba.
Yeah, Sheba, the burial place of Queen Sheba, which is just recently discovered. And I'm wondering how in the world did Pastor Sunday in UK discover that? Because I'd never ever heard about it.
They said it was more complexly constructed than
the Pyramid of Egypt.
Yeah.
And Pyramid of Egypt is known as one of the...
And it's even superior to the stones of that are in England. What they call those stones? The Stone Age stones in Great Britain. Yeah.
Very... And these things, they are facts. They are not just...
They are there.
They are
it has become a UNESCO or UN site.
Heritage Center.
Yeah, Heritage Center. Yeah.
And if the Pyramid of Egypt is one of the Asian wonders of the world, that which is greater than the Asian wonder of the world.
Because they said this amount of sound and sand and work that is done there is more complex than
that of the pyramid.
Yes.
Very, very, very exceptional. All of that in Nigeria. Nigerians don't have a bit of a clue of all of this information. They do not. A lot of Nigerians don't know about Bora or Eredo or all of this biodiversity, language diversity that we're talking about.
Yep.
So that chapter 3 was you clearly showed it by chapter 3.
Chapter 3 is explosive.
Every Nigerian will be very confident, will know that it is for definitely by fact and statistics. Nigeria has so many areas, even though we are looking at...
We don't have anything to regret about at all.
At all. About Nigeria being greater than America.
The raw materials are here. The resources, the potential. Okay, in chapter 4, we're now talking about significant contributions of Nigerians to the world. So how has Nigeria blessed the world?
So many.
You started with Nigeria's golden child,
Yeah, Nigerian golden child is Philip Emeagwali, the man who invented the supercomputer, which is known as the fastest computer in the world. Brought thousands of microprocessors together to be able to interpret computer language, to be able to process, work out calculations within nanoseconds. And of course, Philip Emeagwali has been able to has been able to bring Nigeria to the world in a way that many Nigerians have not been able to. Because he's known as the golden child because he's been able to do exceptionally what many Nigerians have not been able to do, or what I mean,
the whole world has not been able to do.
The whole world has not been able to do. So every time we mention the fastest computer, is also at the point known as the father of the internet, as it gave constructive designs towards the invention of the internet, how the internet came to be. So that was Dr. Philip Emeagwali in chapter 4. And also I earlier gave the example of Dr. Lutoye in the first man or the first doctor to birth a baby twice in the world. That is in Nigeria. Then, of course, Emema Umana, the first Black Harvard Law Review female president, the first in the world, is in Nigeria. Then other examples of Nigerians who invented devices that the entire African continent, like for example, trapping. It was a Nigerian that first designed a device that could trap the thunderclaps, the lightning, that converted lightning into electricity. That was also a Nigerian that gave that device. Another Nigerian gave the device that could basically, when playing football, how football could generate electricity. In fact, she's a lady by name Jessica Matthews. She was the first person in the history of the world who invented electricity from football. So while people are playing football at the same time, they can also generate electricity at the same time. And also in chapter 4, we had the story of the Professor Nanji, who's been able to do exceptionally well. This man is based in the United States. Has been able to do exceptionally well when it comes to the area of electricity generation and all of that. And it's quite interesting because the question a lot of Nigerians will ask is, we have a lot of Nigerians, for example, 3 examples now that you gave in that chapter in regards to electricity.
Yeah.
One who invented electricity from lightning, another who invented electricity from football, and of course Professor Naji, who is like a specialist when it comes to electricity generation and things like that. And then people will ask why Nigeria still does not have electricity at the moment, because these problems are just problems of, they are just structural problems.
Yeah.
It's just
political.
It's political. It's just the system at the moment. When Nigerians are ready, again and again in the book you said that when Nigerians are ready to lead the world, to overtake the world, they are going to do it in a swift, and it's not going to be too difficult to do in making Nigeria the greatest country in the world. So that was about chapter 4, the different contributions that Nigerians have been able to make, to give to the world. Of course, my favorite in that chapter will be the story of Dr. Olutoye, the man who graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University, and he was able to go to the United States, make a lot of landmark surgery, landmark research and all that. His wife is also an anesthesiologist, and they both work in the United States. And for the first time, he was the first person to birth a baby twice in the history of the world.
Yeah. What tell them more about that man.
That man. So Dr. Olutoye is a medical surgeon. He's a medical surgeon, and he, like I said before, he was the first person to be able to born a baby twice in the United States. There was a woman called Mrs. Boma who had a problem, actually a tumor. The baby had a tumor, so the baby had what was called sacrococcygeal teratoma. That was a baby a tumor that was growing at the baby's back. So that was going to be growing. The tumor was going to be growing because that was a very, very rare condition, medical condition. It actually happens just about one baby in about 70,000 live births. So it was very rare. People they were not used to it. It wasn't something that many surgeons would want to operate on at all. But this man was able to take on the challenge to say he could surgically operate on that baby. So the woman, Mrs. Boma, who had the baby, was initially skeptical about it, but she decided that okay, it's worth a try, because the baby was not going to survive anyway if it continued like that in the womb. So at the end of the day, the surgery was actually very successful, because Dr. Olutoye Oluyinka was able to bring the baby out at 23 weeks, operate on the baby, put the baby back to deliver at 38 weeks. And interestingly, the government of Nigeria has also been able to appreciate Dr. Olutoye. They've been able to give him an award, bring him back to honor. But we said that it's not just enough to recognize. Recognition alone is not enough, because there's a lot of the Olutoyes in Nigeria that can be systematically developed, and there's a lot of such landmark things that can happen either within the country or even by Nigerians outside of the country. So that was the story of the Olutoye.
And how much can we produce more of those kind of people? What are we suggesting in the books? What
we're suggesting in the book is the fact that first, Dr. Olutoye is just another Nigerian that's making extraordinary feats. It's not like an exceptional, he himself said it, that it's not like he's an exceptional Nigerian.
Okay, just like I said.
Just like you said. So himself said it, that it's not like he's an exception. He said, Nigerians are talented people. If they decide to apply themselves, they can achieve much. When they have access to resources and infrastructure, they can attain even greater heights. That was
than himself.
You
see?
So that was there is direct quotation in the book that they can achieve far greater than he has been able to achieve. So we are saying that Dr. Olutoye is not exceptional Nigerians just because he was exposed to the right environment and opportunity, and that means that in every Nigerian doctor is actually a Dr. Olutoye when given the right opportunity and training, and they are backed up, they are given the right support.
Excellent. But we still have even more formidable examples when we keep on going on in this book.
Yes. So you ended up on Dr. Olutoye by saying Nigeria is not in any way poor. He said it is just poorly being managed. Our greatest wealth is in our people. this is why we can become the greatest and the wealthiest nation on earth.
Yeah.
Because what Nigerians have been able to achieve has not been achieved by any race or any class of people on earth.
And individually, these people have been able to achieve what no human being has been able to achieve.
Absolutely.
But collectively, our whole idea is that we can bring all these forces together,
yes,
and build a university around each one of them.
Each one of them is a university
on its own, then arrange that to be done in Nigeria, and to be reproducing everything they have been able to reproduce,
yes,
and set up a whole system,
around
a whole factory manufacturing themselves,
yes,
reproducing themselves in Nigeria.
Yes,
that's the major.
You gave the challenge in a very multi-directional way. You gave the challenge to the individuals, to the government, to
yes,
people reading the book themselves.
Yeah.
The bottom line of everything.
Even you being opportune to read the book,
yes,
you could already benefit
exactly,
and be already part of making Nigeria
the greatest country in the world. And everyone, like for example, we're talking about, if let's say for example a university based on the concept of this Dr. Olutoye,
yeah,
is the fact that any reader that is reading the book can be able to take that concept alone and generate people in that form, in that manner. So somebody can champion that idea, can be able to take up the idea and say, I'm going to generate people in this line, in this fashion of individuals, and that will not be impossible.
Excellent, excellent.
So that was for chapter 4.
Right, now we can go to chapter 5.
Yes. So for chapter 5 is very, it just keeps getting better and better in the book. In chapter 5, we have steps to transforming Nigeria. And one of the things we come about, of course, we gave the example of Adebayo Ogunlesi.
The Nigerian wonder.
The Nigerian wonder, the man who built the second largest or manages the second largest airport
in the world.
In the entire world.
In the UK.
In the UK.
That is Gatwick.
Yes, Gatwick Airport. And you also gave a system, a very peculiar system about that story. The fact that we cannot have Gatwick as it is, and have Maurice Mohammed Airport as it is in Lagos.
All those things could be reproduced.
They have to be reproduced. We have to produce like thousands and thousands of Gatwick in Nigeria. It's possible. In Nigeria is doing it anyways. In Nigeria is
managing it, running it, and his company is financing it.
Wow. And interestingly, even when Donald Trump came on board, this same man was invited to
be an advisor,
in
his cabinet.
So there's no excuse in the world why we have a Nigerian running such companies.
And Nigerian government is not inviting him to be an advisor.
No, Nigerians don't even appreciate. They don't
even know all these people. Maybe if they know them, they are not.
I listened to the review, and the person said that this book has to be given to every senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Every politician has to be able to read the book, to be able to digest and understand.
And even for them to understand Nigeria in a different way. For them to be able to see a different Nigeria.
To see the vision, to see Nigeria as the greatest country. It will be a privilege for them anyways to be a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the greatest country.
And instead of them just living their own lives, they could. But before this man,
yes,
besides the story, you were saying something about that chapter.
Yes. So about the steps to make it to transform Nigeria. So Biogoles is you said in that chapter again and again that man is a gold mine.
Yeah.
So you said ordinarily one would have expected that the federal government of Nigeria would have done all within our power to bring it back to Nigeria. That is like it should be an urgent.
It should head up our aviation industry.
And turn
the airport construction. But what about the man that constructs the 500 million Iraqi railway system?
Yes, the man that
Jude.
Yes, Jude
Igwemeze
is a very interesting guy based in Canada that was able to. He actually brought up the concept, and he told the Iraqi government that you don't even need to give me the money. I have a special concept by which I want to develop this railway system in the country, and by the time I'm done with of course, within a time frame when he's going to be able to generate his money back and make profit and all of that. But he gave them the design, he gave them the idea, and the Iraqi government bought into it. So they had...
No, it was actually a tender, international
competition.
A competition that he won.
To be able to...
He won from Americans, from all other people from all over the world. He had the best concept.
So they actually gave him that bid to be able to develop the Iraqi railway system.
Yeah.
So, which is very, very, very interesting.
And
So,
which it will only make sense to say, if somebody could be developing a whole railway system for another country, Iraq,
yes.
What is Nigeria doing? We don't even have any railway system. And that guy is a Nigerian. And I'm sure he's also, he will have some passion about Nigeria. So, but if we will not notice him, and if we will not call him and to come and set up the same thing in Nigeria, it's just like me. Nobody is inviting me. Nobody is talking to me about anything.
Yes.
So also are these guys.
Wow. So there's no point where in Nigeria went to build the Iraqi railway system, and Nigeria itself does not have a functional railway in operation. It doesn't show seriousness so much on the part of.
And that's why people like me, that's why I need to go to Nigeria. And before I go, and on my way to Nigeria, I'm going to contact all these people, and we're going to form a consortium of think tank organization that you are going to gather, the best brain, all these people we're talking about here, and we're going to, I'm going to appeal to them for them to join and form a team of rebuilding Nigeria. And the project of rebuilding Nigeria, that I don't know if you saw it at the HMT this year.
I did, yes.
Okay, so that we'll be able to reproduce and we'll be able to, be a team with the best minds coming in with their own contribution.
You put after the Dr. Jude story, because he also made the same claim that people are not interested in inviting him to Nigeria. So he said that experts of nation building have described Nigeria as one nation who is not ready to grow, but can grow and become a world-leading power within the shortest time possible, whenever she's ready. So it's just like for Nigeria to be ready to take off, and immediately Nigeria takes off, Nigeria is going to lead the rest of it. Nigeria will actually become the greatest country in the world sooner than later.
Yep. Then after him, we spoke about the story of the lady in Spain. That wanted to be the president of the nation.
Country. A Nigerian lady went into Spain and contested for the presidential election in the country, which is very, very remarkable. A woman. And very interesting, because she was like a pace setter in the country, because now, just recently, we had a Nigeria who actually became a senator in Spain. Just
Spain or Italy? Italy.
It was in Italy, who actually became a senator in Italy.
The first
black person in Italy. So Ellie Mokoro was able to set the pace in Spain. She went to Spain and contested. She started a party. She brought people together, galvanized them, and they were able to contest as a major opposition party in Spain. Though she lost the election, but it was a major statement that was made for Nigeria. So that was exceptional, very, very exceptional.
Yeah, and then the doll Barbie revolution.
Yes. So that is
Taufik
Okoya, yes.
Yeah.
Taufik Okoya made a special kind of doll, because according to him, he discovered that his daughter had only white dolls to play with. Yes. So he decided that, look, I can design my own doll, my own kind of doll. He was able in the process to provide jobs for a lot of people, because he was designing black dolls, and they were being made by local people. They were able to design all of those dolls. And the interesting thing was that the doll that was made by Nigerian Taufik Okoya in Lagos was actually outselling the Barbie
that is made in America.
In America, that is known all over the world. A Nigerian doll was actually outselling it, and that was quite phenomenal. And the way that he did that was very, very dramatic, because he just took over that business within a little time, within the shortest possible time. So that is very, very exceptional.
And if that kind of guy gets the support of the federal government, like I said, yes. If I were in the government, or I was supposed to advocate for the government should get behind someone like that. Just like Obasanjo did to Dangote.
Yes.
He got some billions behind him,
yes.
and Dangote performed and
yes.
became an international company.
Yes.
So also we should do. If he's already without any government support, he's already outselling Barbie.
Yes,
why don't we put some billions under him and make him to be a world giant in
yes.
production of doors.
And there's no doubt that the man is going to be exceptional, because even without any government support, he was able to do something that was able to take over, or that outran,
overtake,
or that overtook, like an American company. So what is going to happen if the government was able to give him support, if the government gave him backing? This man is going to be, I even see such a man opening up other sectors, opening up other ideas, other inventions, other ideas.
Yeah, and that's why I say the government, for me, it's easy to do. Once we have people like this, for me, I'm looking at them not just as some successful individuals. I'm looking at them as models. So, and the models and prototypes must be duplicated.
Yes.
So, that is the way I'm seeing someone like that. And all these people, that's why I'm very confident that once we're able to duplicate and multiply,
yes,
into cereals and begin to produce serially Nigerians like this, thousands of them like this, that is the key to rule the world.
You said that Taufik's idea is unique in the sense that children will always be born. He will always have a large potential market for his product. So it's not something, an idea that is going to go off soon. So taking Taufik's case as an example, what do Nigerian young people mean when they say there are no jobs or that Nigeria is barren? What exactly do they need when they are trying to smuggle their way out of Nigeria? Many of our graduates are not aware that the best place for them to prosper
is Nigeria.
Within Nigeria.
Yeah. And that's why, those are the challenges before us. But, at least when we already set the goal, we know the way to approach the challenge, and things are going to be easier.
Yes.
And I'm doing my part by coming up with all these ideas and giving suggestions to the government on how to, deal with and how to build the greatest country in the world, using the greatest raw material and resources that Nigeria has got, which is human resources. Yes. Okay.
So that is very exceptional. That chapter ended by saying that America is the world's sunset and Nigeria is the rising
sun of the world. Yeah.
And many people do not know that because it's very subtle and very.
Soon they are going to count with that.
Yes, a lot of people have not realized it. But very soon, Nigeria will be a great force to reckon with. By the time all of these young people who are breathing up at the same time, mature at the same time, in the same generation, then there's no doubt about it that Nigeria is going to be the greatest country on earth.
Yep. To live in. So now we are into chapter 6.
Yes.
This is where we talk about a good friend of mine.
Yes.
The smartest family in the world.
Yes.
You want to tell us about this?
Very exceptional. The Nigerians are not just doing things by individuals. They are actually also coming out as a family to say that we are the best. When it comes to even being a family unit, Nigerians are doing exceptionally well in the world. So the first example, like you said, is the example of Professor Mafidon.
Yeah.
Professor Mafidon.
Yeah.
And the United Kingdom.
And his whole family.
And his whole entire family, who are known as the smartest family in the world. The very interesting thing about them is the story of each of the children of the family. We have Mary, who, when she was 27, already had a PhD, was a member of the British Empire, honored by the Queen, who, when she was 13 years old, she passed her A-level computing exams. Exceptionally, she got into Johns Hopkins University at about that same age, or before she was 20. She had graduated, and she had graduated before 20 from Oxford University with a master's degree, and speaks multiple languages, specialized in mathematics and computer science, and has a special program for STEM program, that is science and technology and engineering mathematics programs. So she has a special program for that, and just very exceptional. And she's been able to raise 15,000 girls all by herself in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Europe, to prove that she's deserving of the honor of the MBE. She's been able to do exceptionally well.
This lady,
27, 28 years old, has been able to raise 15,000 young girls across
the United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom, in science and technology education. Also, our sister is called Christiana, who by the time she was 23, was already the youngest student in history to ever get accepted to study at an undergraduate institution. She got accepted when she was 11 years old to study as an undergraduate at any British university. She was just 11 when she was accepted. Now, she had worked at different places, and of course, like her sister, she's also on research in mathematics, also at Oxford University. Then we have Samantha Imafidon, who passed 2 high school level mathematics and statistics exams at the age of 6.
Can you believe it?
So it's like in the family, they keep beating each other's record.
It's running in the family.
So they keep beating each other's record. By the time she was 9, she became the youngest girl in the United Kingdom to attend secondary school. She was just 9 years old. Then she mentored her twin sisters who, when they were 6, had also become mathematics champions in the United Kingdom. The sisters were the twins that followed were Peter and Paula, and they are known as the United Kingdom's Wonder Twins. They are known as Great Britain's Wonder Twins. They are the current highest achievers of mathematics in the United States. At 9 years old,
in the United Kingdom.
in the United Kingdom. At 9 years old, both of them, they made history as the youngest children in British history to attend high school.
British history.
In the history of the United Kingdom. They passed all A's at their advanced level math papers. So at the advanced level math papers, they passed with all A's, and they are not just into
adults at 6 years old, eh?
Yes, by the time they were 9, they were already into high school. And by the time they were 6, they had already passed their math exams.
And these are stuff that even 20 years old are struggling with.
But Nigerians are doing it at a very young age of 6, of 9, at 11, they had been admitted into the university for undergraduate education. They are also athletic champions. They are champions of 100 meters and 40 twins. One of them is a 100-meter champion. The other is a 400-meter champion. And very, very exceptional, very, very, very exceptional family. They are
all-rounded
family. So that also is a task that every family in Nigeria.
Then we have the most chartered accountants in one family.
Also the most chartered accountant in one family.
They are all Nigerians.
They are all Nigerians too. So it's the story of David Omoya Dafinon. I think he's from Edo, Delta State, thereabout, who has he has an accounting firm, and also all of his children. In fact, this is actually a World Guinness record. Yes, they have the certificate from the Guinness Book of World Records as the most chartered accountant in one family.
Now, you have so many other things in this book, and his students and Gangote and all the other people that we know.
Yes.
But our time is going to come to an end. What are the things I was saying towards the end of this book? What were my speech, addresses to the government, to the people, and
towards the end of the book, you were able to open up the challenge that had begun from the initial chapter, which had always been to the reader, what the reader must understand, what the government was
to play a role in making Nigeria.
Yes, in making Nigeria the greatest country
in the world.
The world. So you intensified on that, what every reader should be able to do
from their own part.
From their own part. There's something that every one of us must do. Knowing the fact that all of these things are there, they are
real. And you carry the same blood
as all of these people. They are very real. They are not, each of these Nigerians again and again.
They are not white people.
They are not white. They keep saying we are not exceptional. We are just ordinary Nigerians.
This is what Nigerians are.
This is why you kept saying it again and again. That everywhere you went on the when you went to Japan, Japanese researchers actually told you that they've carried out the special research that showed that Nigeria among the top three races in the world.
Yeah.
So they've been able to understand that this is a very special group of people. So you intensify that every reader should be able to understand that there is a role for them to play as an individual, then there's a role for the government to play. The government has a lot to do in encouraging, bringing about this environment.
Building policies.
Yes, policies and systems, putting systems in place that each of the like for example, the smartest family, the most chartered accountant family, all of these special families, there's a way that we can have thousands and thousands of them.
And that is the whole idea about this
of the book. Bring up systems that is able
put
to
them into a serial production.
Yes. Because you say again and again, also in the book, you say that if it had been done once, then that means it can be done again.
Repeated,
it can be repeated.
And that is my strategy. That is my life is predictable idea.
Yeah, you give a challenge also to the people themselves. Like for example,
come back home and reproduce.
Come back and reproduce, and even those on ground. Like you said, for example, that there's no reason why we should have just one of Aliko Dangote. That Aliko Dangote should be able to produce thousands and thousands of himself. Aliko Dangote should be a school.
Yeah,
it should be a school that
reproduces millionaires.
And
it should specialize in the production of millionaires.
There's nothing stopping it.
And I'm surprised at the way people don't think about it that way. That's the only way I think.
Wow.
If you become a millionaire, you must be able to produce millionaires. Yes. Become a writer, you must be able to produce writers. Yes. If you become anything you become, you must be able to reproduce others in their thousands.
So it's not just enough for us to have each of these stars. We have to be like a galaxy.
And that is probably the part of our oligarchic mindset.
Yes, I think we discussed that in the book.
Elite.
Yes,
instead of us, building an egalitarian society that will make us to come down from our high horses and be able to come to the level of the masses and make them to be able to do the same thing like us and know that we are not some superhuman somewhere. Yep. Well, here we are, everybody. What will you say, about this book before we drop out today?
I would challenge every Nigerian to get a copy of the book, and not just to get a copy of the book for themselves, as many people as possible, especially the politicians, those empowered.
If you want to give hope to your children, to make them be proud, to be Nigerian, there's nothing I can do without this book.
Yes, and perhaps people are also young people especially, who are desperate to leave the country, want to leave the country by every means. They need to get a copy of this book, because when they read the book, like the person who wrote the letter, then you understand that there is absolutely no reason to leave the country.
You don't need to run away.
And if you are outside,
greatness is right there.
It's right there in the country. And those who are outside the country, they would not be struggling to get another passport. I just want another passport. Getting another passport should not be a dream for any Nigerian. It shouldn't even be what any Nigerian is considering.
It should be about what you could do, what role you could play
in making Nigeria
the greatest country in the world. Well, Doctors of Success,
thanks, Pastor.
You've done a great job.
Thanks.
Good job. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, friends, for your time. And we'll see you in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to be continuing my series on Pastor Adeboye and the God of Mammon. Pastor Adeboye and the God of Mammon. Today's message is going to be very, very tough, because you will hear Pastor Adeboye crossing his pastors and placing a curse on pastors and members of his church, of people who follow him. They will not believe it. They will say he didn't mean it. That's not what he's saying. But you will see that basically today you will see it with your own eyes. You will hear it with your own ears. That Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye, was placing a curse upon his own people. Sad. But let's wait and see.